Good afternoon, sports fans. PB&Z Sports Chaos with G Money. I think that should become the new name.
I think so too.
I mean, PB is missing MIA so much. We have him here on the video monitor, but he's in silent mode today, unfortunately, fans. So you won't hear from him live. Apparently, he's.
Think the cartels got to him?
I think possibly. Yeah. I heard that he was shock fighting today down in Miami.
I don't know.
Can you see that white body shock fighting?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Oh, shark meat if I've ever seen it.
All right. But supposedly he's back next week. We'll see if he's back. I don't know. All right. We got the 2-minute drill. We're going to talk the big boxing match tonight in Vegas. Probably the biggest heavyweight fight in 20 years, G?
23 years. I would say since Lennox Lewis and Holyfield fought.
All right.
97, I think that was.
We're going to talk a little NFL and the proposed CBA. That's going to be interesting dialogue. We're going to talk musical quarterbacks as well. Some theories on some of the quarterbacks who might be going and leaving, staying, whatever. And then we're going to talk about this Major League Baseball scandal. This is out of control. We've been talking about it for a while now. It's hit a peak, and I'm a little concerned. All right, 2-minute drill. Today, fans, 40 years ago today, do you know what you were doing? I know what I was doing. I was watching on a black and white TV. USA! USA! The miracle! They beat the Soviet Union. Mikey Rosioni. Fantastic night that was.
That was 40 years ago, huh?
40 years ago, yeah. Do you believe in miracles? And then 2 days later, they won the gold against Finland, but beating the Russians, that was what it was all about. Hey, by the way, speaking of a long time, UConn women's basketball finally fell out of the top 5. First time since 2007 they have not been a top 5 ranked school.
Didn't they win 102 straight?
They've won 100 plus games, yes, correct, and 80 as well. Hey, but speaking of college basketball, the game of the year today, for men anyways, is going on right now,
yeah.
G, right?
Yeah, and Kansas is owning them. I think Kansas, last I checked, was up like 7.
We got to play in the background. Kansas versus number 1 Baylor at Baylor, and Kansas, as G Money said, is taking it to them.
Potential Final Four preview.
Whew, man. All right, hey, last weekend, Daytona 500 took place. It took place on Monday after all. Denny Hamlin won, but the whole thing was Ryan Newman in a horrific crash.
I was shocked the guy didn't
walked out
die.
of the hospital.
He walked out of the hospital
2 days later.
It's unbelievable the safety precautions those vehicles are built with. It's insane. That guy should be dead. If one of us did that in a regular car, dead.
We're gone. Hey, by the way, when did a race have an overtime?
That's weird to me.
I used to run races all the time. I ran track. There was no overtime. No. What the heck? All right. Moving on. The Bees stay very hot. They're number 1 in the league with points scored. Right now, Tuukka Rask, our goalie, leads in goals against and save percentage. Is he a Vezina Trophy candidate?
I think so. When you lead with all those stats and you're on the number 1 team, it's a no-brainer.
Well, the jury's out because he's got the 17th most games because of load management.
Which is smart. I mean, he's getting up there in age.
Yeah. All right, we'll see, man. Hey, by the way, huge trade. The Bruins acquired this kid, Case. I can't even pronounce his name. Aranji Case? I don't even know. He's
I saw that. I don't know anything about him, though.
Apparently, he's an offensive-minded right wing. He's 24 years old. He's from Finland. Him and Pasternak are good buddies. He does very well at attracting penalties. We'll see. They need a right wing. We'll see.
And we got rid of Backus, right?
Yeah, Backus.
He didn't do a lot for us.
No, not this year. I feel bad for him. Backus is a good dude, but we'll see. All right. Hey, it'll work. Maybe it works out better than the Celtics, who did nothing at the trade deadline, right?
Do they need to, though? They're a deep team.
That's another. We'll talk about that another time. Maybe not. Speaking of our Celtics, good point there, G-Money. They play the Lakers tomorrow. They're going for the sweep. Any chance?
I don't think so. I mean, it's hard to sweep any team, never mind a team with finals aspirations like the Lakers.
So these two teams have a long history. Little DYK. Who do you think has the most wins ever in that series?
I would say the Celtics by a small margin.
161 to 130. That's not small.
That's a big margin.
That's a big margin.
Celtics?
Yeah. And by the way, playoffs 43 to 31.
Jeez.
And 12-2 in championships, Celtics.
Those are mostly the Bill Russell days, though, right?
They are, yes, yeah. Thank you for bringing us down. Hey,
Sorry.
by the way, Kemba is 1-28 versus LeBron, but his knee. Are you worried about his knee?
I'm very worried about his knee because the fact that it's reoccurring. If you had just one little bout with it, and that wouldn't be a problem. But this is his third issue with his knee. That's a problem. I have bad knees, and I know once it flares up and once you're having issues, they persist until you have surgery typically. So it's not a good thing.
And they legitimately have 4 20-point scorers in their lineup when he's healthy.
Same.
I mean, there's a lot of teams that have 2 great talents. Everywhere there seems to be 2 great talents for the contenders. No one has 4.
I think we're the deepest team of top tier talent in the NBA.
I would agree with you on that. I would agree. All right, let's talk about what's going on in Vegas tonight. The big fight we talked about it earlier. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, the rematch, stage 2, which will be a trilogy. We'll talk about that momentarily. All right, I got to ask you, G Money, having seen the first fight and seen a couple of their other fights individually, who has the better chin? Who can take a punch?
Definitely Fury. I call him Fury. Fury has the better punch. I'm sorry, better chin. I mean, he'll drop. You can knock him down, but he's going to keep getting up.
He gets up. He's like insane. A robot. It's unbelievable.
Now, Wilder doesn't get knocked down, so I don't know if that means he has a good chin or no one hits him hard enough, but it remains to be seen. If you hit Wilder with the same power that Fury's going to hit with, is he going to get back up? I don't think he will.
So the last match was a draw. Fury was probably a better boxer.
Overall, he's the best.
But Wilder knocked him down twice. So let me ask you a question. This fight, the rumor is Fury's trying to go for a knockout. Is that a bad move?
Horrible move. He doesn't have knockout power. Could it happen? Yes. I mean, he's a big boy. He hits you right. You're going down. He's 273. But that's not where his game is. He's a boxer. He's literally he fights like someone that's 180 pounds would fight. Like he bobs, weaves. He's fast.
It amazes me because he's so fat. Oh, I mean, every time he punches, things jiggle all over his body. He's the jiggler.
He's just uber talented. Like he just knows how to box, and he's by far the better boxer of the two. And Wilder is obviously the stronger, the better puncher. So you don't beat him in his own game. If you do that, you're going to lose.
So the odds on a knockout is in favor of who?
Wilder. I think it's small money. I think it's plus 120. But the game's almost even money. I want to say last time I checked, it's plus 110 for Fury. I don't know. I can't do that name. And Wilder was like minus 120. So it's pretty much even money.
So G Money, you're our gambling boy. Yeah. Are you betting this thing tonight?
Yeah, I'm taking Fury. You
are taking Fury.
I'm hoping that it's a rouge. I'm going to try to knock him out early because if he plays the same game he played last time, he'll win.
Wow!
I'm thinking 10th round. I think he outboxes him. Maybe he gets a knockdown. I don't know. Right. The fight's called one way or another, but in round 10, I think
I'm taking Wilder. Wins. I got Wilder. I think Wilder wins this thing.
And it's got to be by a knockout.
It has to be. By the way, they're fighting 3 times anyways. The contract says there's a 30-day out clause. Neither one of them are going to take that. It's going to be an automatic
Which is fight. Sad, though, because I want to see Anthony Johnson fight the winner. Anthony Johnson
or Joshua?
Joshua, sorry.
Anthony Joshua.
He is he's just as good, if not better, than both of them.
I gotcha. All right, let's move on to the NFL. We got a wild story happening right now. The CBA is being voted on this week by the players. NFL owners want a 17-game schedule in the regular season. They will eliminate 1 preseason game, making it 3, right? And they want to add an extra wild card game. Does this happen?
It won't happen. The players will not want to play an extra regular season game. Now, yes, you lose a preseason game, but if you look historically, the best players, other than QBs play the preseason, but the best, the best skill position players, they sit out the preseason a lot of the times. Most recent memory, Melvin Gordon, Bell, Gurley. All the major players, they don't play the preseason anyways, so they're not really gaining anything. They're just playing an extra game.
And by the way, a 17-game schedule, that means no one can ever be 500.
Correct?
That's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
But if you look at the injury reports, week 16, how are they going to play 17 games? Because there's half the teams are playing at half staff.
So, G Money, does the extra wild card factor in? They don't add any extra weeks. An extra wild card comes in, and then only 1 team gets a bye going forward. Does that happen?
I think that happens. I think that's a really good incentive to be the number one team. Right now, the difference between 1 and 2 is not big, but now you're really striving to be the best team in your conference. So I think that stays. I don't think the players would fight that, but I think there's going to be a compromise on that 17th game. I don't see it happening. I mean, they're going to have to back off on that, and maybe the players give them something else that they want, but I don't see that 17th game happening.
By the way, if they go to that extra wild card team, for us local Pats fans, not a good thing, because the Pats have never made it out of wild card weekend, as they call it, to a Super Bowl.
Well, it just means beating KC is
They'd
even
have to
more
be the number
important.
one bye
Yeah,
every time, right? Unbelievable. It's hard to fathom, but if they don't have it, they don't win. All right, let's talk a little quarterback roulette, speaking of gambling in Vegas. So Eli, he's out. We know that. He's done, right? He hung it up.
Yep.
Phillip Rivers, he moved. He's out of L.A. Is he done, or?
No, he will play for Tampa Bay next year, and Tampa Bay will finally cut ties with Winston, and Winston will be a backup somewhere. Probably he might even be a bridge QB for one of the new guys coming in.
So Winston goes elsewhere. Okay. Drew Brees, he's staying in the Saints. Apparently, we heard this week, right?
They'll make the numbers work.
So Teddy Bridgewater is.
He's gone. He's gonna be a starting QB for another team. I got a wild prediction. I mean, granted, the odds of this are very slim, but I think it's possible still. As Bridgewater goes to Minnesota, reunites with his team. Minnesota cuts ties with Cousins.
Oh my God!
And they're on they have the dead money to get rid of Cousins is minimal. So if they get rid of him, he'll be a starter elsewhere. But I think he's just he's too expensive.
You heard it first here on PB&Z Sports Chaos with G Money. Teddy Bridgewater goes back to the Vikings. Hey, by Taysom Hill, does he stay at the Saints?
Yeah, he's going to be the next Breeze. When Breeze retires, Hill will take over.
He's not a young. I didn't realize this. He's 31 years old. I'm surprised he's
but he
that
doesn't have
old.
a lot of mileage.
Yeah, he doesn't.
You know,
No, you're
he's
right.
a young 31.
All right, so Tannehill stays in the Titans.
Yeah, they'll franchise him.
Where does Mariota go then?
He'll be a bridge QB. I think he'll go to maybe San Diego and bridge the guy from Oregon that they're taking, Herbert.
Justin
if they don't
Herbert.
think he's ready to start out of the gate.
So you think the Chargers draft Justin Herbert?
I do. And I think Miami takes Tua. Obviously, Cincy's going to take the guy from LSU, Burrow.
So Burrow goes to Cincy. Yep. Does Andy Dalton get canned? Is he out?
Yeah, they let Dalton go, and he becomes a backup or a bridge QB. But I could see him being a backup and coming to the Pats, and just to protect against if Brady doesn't come.
Andy Dalton coming to the Pats. Unbelievable. I can't even believe it. All right, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, they're going to cut him, and they're going to draft a QB. They'll probably get the guy Jacob Eason from Washington.
In the first round.
They'll draft a QB. They're going to get rid of Cam because they're only on the hook for like $3 million if they cut him.
Yeah.
And then he will go elsewhere to start. Where he's going, I could see him maybe going to Oakland. I could see maybe being the QB in Oakland because it's no secret that what's his name, the QB. The coach for Oakland, Gruden, is not a huge fan of his Carr. He's not a huge fan.
Right.
So I could see Carr moving on. I could see Cam going there, and Carr would go and be a starting QB somewhere else. I'm not sure exactly where he'd land. It's going to be
I think he goes to L.A., but I think it's to the Chargers. All right.
I'm guessing at least 12 new starting QBs next year.
Well, that's a lot right there. You just gave us Brady.
He'll stay with the Pats. I mean,
you think he stays?
They're going to make it work.
All right.
He wants to win a championship. Where else is he going to go?
We got less than 1 month to go to figure that out, right?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to talk about this whole baseball scandal, man. This thing is out of control. We've been talking about it for a while. The Astros, the pukes, as you know I call them. I hate those guys. They got away scot-free. No one got in trouble. In theory, no one got in trouble. But Carlos Bertrand, he was a player. Now he's Beltran, I'm sorry. Now he's the manager, was the manager of the Mets, and he gets fired. But he was a player at the time.
He's the only player that's penalized.
Yes, in a sense he is. Unbelievable. Rob Manfred, the commissioner, has butchered this thing. People are coming out. By the way, that covered his you-know-what because he had the stupid playoff theory thing. We'll add 3 more wild cards. And then one team gets a bye. The other division winners get to pick their choices against who they want to play against.
He's the worst commissioner in professional sports by far.
God.
By far.
Well, listen, stuff is happening. We heard Cody Bellinger last week. We talked about it on the show. He's already talking about what's going to happen retaliation-wise. Then, the best one of the week was Nick Markakis of the Braves came out and said, every one of the players of the Astros deserves a beating. I was surprised by that. He was gold.
Did you see the best player in baseball spoke up about it? What's his name from Angels?
Trout?
Yeah, he had some kind words to say.
Chris Sale said, hey, you know what? It's time we play a clean game. And when he was asked, the players need to enforce this on their own.
Yeah.
So is it going to be retaliation?
Oh, it's going to be ugly. People are going to be nailing the Houston batters with the ball. It's going to be ugly. I'm not watching baseball next year. I can tell you, heard it here first. I'm taking the summer off from sports. No baseball, no betting.
No betting? Bookies, G-Money's out of the game in the summer.
I have no interest in baseball. I'm turned off to the sport based on all this.
He might bet golf now.
Maybe golf. I don't check golf out. But yeah, baseball is a shit show right now, and it ruins it. It just all this drama just ruins it.
So G-Money, let me ask you this question. The latest story is David Ortiz, Big Papi, came out and said Mike Fiers, the guy that let the cat out of the bag, right, when he moved from the Astros. Now he's over on the Athletics, and he said, hey, we cheated. Is he a snitch?
Yes. You know what they say? Snitches get stitches. Yeah, he is a snitch. He is, he shouldn't have said anything. He created a shitstorm, and now baseball's tainted because of it. Just shut your mouth.
So he shouldn't have said anything?
No, it's not worth. I mean, look, nothing came out of it except drama, and everyone's turned off to the sport. I mean,
it is unbelievable. And then what about Jose Canseco? What did he say in his rebuttal on Twitter to Big Papi? Big Papi.
I didn't see that.
He said, Big Papi, leave him alone. Keep your mouth shut. We put up with you through the PED era.
Whoa, he called out Big Papi?
So let me ask you a question. Is this worse than the PED era?
Yes, because PED era, everyone was on PEDs. I don't care who you are or what you say.
I would agree with
everyone was on steroids. This here, 2 teams cheated, and it was basically orchestrated by a few managers, and obviously the players had to do it. I mean, they weren't forced to do it, but they were on board. They weren't fighting the system. So there's 2 teams that did it, and in PED era, everyone did it. So it's different.
So I've got to ask you the question, because now there's been a delay in the outcome of the Red Sox from 2018 and what's happening there. Are the Red Sox going to pay the price for this right now? I'm afraid. I think they are.
Yeah. I mean, well, they're already paying the price. They don't have a full-time manager yet. They need to bite the bullet and bring a manager on board.
That is a good point.
They need to bring a manager on and then deal with whatever repercussions come along.
So could our Sox, who are in spring training right now, is there any chance that they might be the guys to get the pennant pulled? The title removed?
No, I don't think. If they're not pulling Houston, they're not pulling the Sox. No, I don't.
It's taken a while. This was supposed to be decided like 3 weeks ago, and now they say another 2 weeks.
I could see fines. I could see, pull draft picks. But
any players get suspended?
I don't think so, because it's directed from above. How is that on the player?
I'm worried about this. I don't know, man. I think it's a bad sign. We'll see. More to come. All right, PB&C Sports Chaos with G-Money. Next week, we'll be back in July. We'll have a little more on this scandal with the baseball. It's not going to go away, as G-Money just said. We're going to put up with it all summer long. Have a good afternoon. Go Wilder. Go Kansas. We think they're going to upset Baylor, we think, today, right? We'll see what happens. All right.
It's going to be a hell of a fight tonight.
A hell of a fight. Don't let us down. I want to see another draw. What the hell, right?
Why not? 12 rounds of exciting boxing.
Oh, God, yes. All right. Have a good one, fans.
Thanks for having me.